his approval ratings, we should just start calling them disapproval ratings in the toilet. It's weird that they don't poll on the Epstein files because I think that'd be a good topic to poll Americans on. He also the government is censoring your television. I don't know if you knew that. We're gonna play the censored television bit for you. Bayer is trying to settle their Roundup cancer lawsuits. Corporations are not your friends. And it turns out the billionaires that promised Donald Trump to keep jobs in America are sending them to China. So there's a lot in the news. There's a lot. Um, Also, Facebook is patenting an AI that can take over a dead person's account to keep posting. So, they don't need humans anymore. It will just all be AI. I don't know how they're going to get their money, but, maybe just rich people will pass the money back and forth. That's how the economy will work. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, but it's not good. It's not looking good for us. Oh, Lancelot Sanchez, good to see you. Good to have you here. Welcome. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join me every weekday as we peruse the news. I don't even know. Is this even news anymore? Or is this just like a handful of billionaires telling us what to think and believe in hopes that we'll all stay obedient? Because they're trying to make any kind of dissent or disagreement uh, illegal. They want to criminalize you. They're censoring I can't believe they're the cancel culture party, the party that railed against cancel culture. Roseanne Barr did a whole stand-up special about cancel culture. She dressed like she was doing it from the inside of a rodeo. This bitch put on dungarees. She looked like Roseanne Connor. You know what I mean? Like she was playing the role of Roseanne from the TV show and did a whole special. Jim Brewer did a whole special. Roseanne did a whole special. Tim Allen probably didn't do a special, but complained about it. There is a whole facet of conservapervs. I think that's what I'm just going to call them from now on. Conservapervs. Because they're conservative, except when it comes to perversions. Like the Epstein file. We're going to talk about those. Conservapervs had like their whole mantra from 2016 to 2020. No, 2016 to 2024 was like, you're going to cancel us? What are you, sensitive? And now they're canceling TV segments because they're sensitive. This is nuts. This country's a joke. This country's a joke. They're all inclusive perverts. That sounds like the worst fucking. It sounds like the that sounds like the worst Disney cruise ever. This Disney cruise. Wait, who? Chuck E. Cheese cruise, because we know the Chuck E. Cheese CEO is mentioned in the file. This new Chuck E. Cheese cruise is all inclusive, perverts. Oh, if people are going to be weird, I'm just going to put you to timeout because we got a lot of news. Hey, it's your internet friend from Connecticut. What's up, Connecticut? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. What's up, 88 Infinity? What's up? Good to see you. If you're gonna come into my comments and talk stuff, I'll just have one of my mods quiet you. Show some respect to somebody who shows their face and stands up for the working class. If you cowards are gonna have your troll avatars saying nothing besides, "Why don't you go get a job?" Just get the fuck out of here. Go to Tim Pool. Go watch Joe Rogan take an ice bath. We have some fun to get to. We're going to make fun of this news because it's all a joke. It's all a joke. I love that here in America. I'm going to play a news segment on how if you're mentioned in the Epstein files, you just get to step down from your job. The government said, we're not going to investigate you. I played you that Todd Blanch audio the other day. The deputy, I like to call him Secretary AG, right underneath Pam Blondie, Todd Blanch, Donald Trump's criminal attorney, who failed to get him off from 34 counts of felonies. said there will be no. I'd love to investigate, but I don't know. There's nothing to look at in the files. Meanwhile, the previous press conference, he was like, "There's death, abuse, and CSAM, and all this stuff in the files that we can't release, and we've released them all, but we can't release those, but we've released them all." Like their story just is a mess. But these motherfuckers, these people, these people not only can't get their story straight, but they're allowing the most powerful, wealthy perverts, the conservapervs. I think that's what I'm going to call it. The conservapervs. Sorry. I heard Hassan Piker use that sound clip, and I thought, God damn, that's a good one. That's a good one, Hassan. And I'm good to see that you got a soundboard, my man. You've had money for a while, so you should have had a soundboard before that. You could get them for free online. But it's good that he's catching up. So if he's going to steal my idea of having a soundboard, Hassan, then I'm going to steal that sound clip. And yes, I did call it a sound clip. Suck it. So not only is the government saying we can't investigate, there's really nothing to go off of. It's all cold. It's all it's all cold cases, guys. The Epstein files are cold cases. We don't even know where to find these people. Meanwhile, see this Chuck E. Cheese, old Chuck E. Cheese, old Charles Cheese is having to release, I don't know, Instagram statements where they're like, listen, the timing of our CEO stepping down and going to another company is just, that's coincidence. This coincidence that he's in the Epstein files and we're having him walk away from this children's entertainment, bring your kids, hopefully you don't lose them in a ball pit play area. This is just a coincidence that our Chuck E. Cheese, our Charles, at this point, I'm surprised Chuck E. Cheese wasn't mentioned in the files, but their CEO was, or CEC, or I don't know, some middle management bozo who's paid billions of dollars to, I don't know, work for Epstein. Again, it doesn't matter at this point because you know what's going to happen? Nothing. You know why? Todd Blanch said, wish we could find these people, guys. This is the Epstein files is like a cold case. Just ask Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's over there like, I don't know, this is starting to look bad. Maybe it's not a hoax. And you're just like, oh, guess we got the best minds on it, folks. Best minds are on it. Yeah. So with that being said, does the president want to? Does Madame President want to say anything?
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh, that guy is totally nothing to investigate there. That guy, nothing. Wait, what did he say? What did the Madam President say?
That if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Okay, nothing to see here, folks. Conservapervs. Staffelson, what's up? Rank voting, term limits, repeal Citizens United. I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, do we even try to have a system after this? Do we? What does the system look like? Do we have to turn, like, I'm not for taking Greenland, but at this point, if we could ask the Greenlandians nicely, could you go to a different island? We have a ton of perverts and we need to make a new Australia. We need to isolate these folks. Isolate. And I'm like really not into that, like I think Greenland's for the Greenlandians. I truly do. But at this point, I'm like, I understand why England did Australia. At this point, I'm just like, I totally get it. You got a bunch of perverts on your land. And you're like, what do you do? Well, there's this big desert island. Let's see if they could survive out there. At this point, it's like, what do you do? Do we exile them all to Epstein Island? It's not big enough. There's so many of them, and we got to take all their helicopter keys, before we exile all these Epstein associates. Like, do we go, okay, hand over the helicopter keys. Everyone, both pairs. No, even the baby helicopter. Give it. You're being exiled. Like, at this point, I just don't. We could send them to Antarctica. Yeah, but that's where the penguins are. We have to send them to the Arctic. Is that where the polar bears are? I think the polar bears are in the Arctic. So, I don't want them. I saw that meme with Donald Trump and the penguin. I don't want them getting all handsy, thinking the penguins. Once he gets hangry, the dude starts thinking the penguin's his daughter.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
That's fucking gross, and he said it on The View. He was filmed on camera, and he's like, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be banging the boots off this one. And what can I say? I'll grope anything, grab him by the. I'm sorry, but here's the thing: if you're not pissed, you're not paying attention. I'm gonna play this news segment where they're like, many powerful CEOs are resigning. Not many, like two, I think. I forget. It's like one or two. They're like, they were mentioned in the Epstein files and promised immunity from Todd Blanch. It's not really a deal per se, but he dog whistled to them during his press conference. He was like, there's nothing here, guys. Cold case. Todd Blanch might as well be winking when he was doing that press conference. You don't know who Todd Blanch is? Trump's criminal attorney, now second in command to Pam Blondie. So whatever Pam Blondie's saying, this dude's like humping her leg, just ready to get out there and be like, everybody's innocent except for you Antifas. Welcome to America. We're fucked. We're fucked, folks. We're fucked. But the good thing is we still have art. We still have art.
Hey, how many perpetrators are you even? Down right now. It's over 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. Down right now. As if here on my seventh thou. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the down.
Let me address the survivors because
How is the down.
I love the guy in the background. The guy in the background really seals that song for me. Check out Earth to Eve. I love Earth to Eve. I love Earth to Eve. Antifa you. I love Earth to Eve. The only problem I have with Earth to Eve is she hasn't released her newest music. So if you stream her, because are we even legally allowed to buy CDs anymore? I don't think you can buy a CD anymore. I think Jeff Bezos ate them all or something. I think he threw them all in the Hudson River and fucking shot at him with Elon Musk's blowtorch gun. That's so depressing. I still have a CD collection. I have heard of Ren. I do like Ren too. I was listening to Hi Ren earlier today. Feel Good Hit of the Year. You better fucking believe this. This is the song of the summer, Jack. You know it, pal. You know it. This is the song of the summer. I'm going to play it again. It's because this is the only relief I get in America right now. Egg expensive. Gas is still not under $1 like Donald Trump said. Or what did he promise? Under $2. Still not even there. Who gives a shit? I'd rather have healthcare than gasoline. Some of you have different life choices where you're like, give me all the gasoline I can take. I don't want healthcare. I love some gasoline. That's what I eat for dinner, I guess. I don't know. But this is the only solace we get in America.
Down right now. It's over 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. Down right now. As if here on my seventh thou. The American people need to know this.
Need to know how is the Dow.
let me address the survivors.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. How is the Dow? Welcome to the Church of Tao. Welcome. And not Taoism like Buddhist Taoism. Not like, is Buddhist Taoism? No, Taoism is different than Buddhism. It's not Taoism. This is Tao. D-O-W. Welcome to the Church of the Tao. We celebrate everything's legal once it's over 50,000. If it drops below 50,000, I'm pretty sure things are illegal again. I don't know. What's up, Crush? Sorry, I'm not. BCJ, what's up? Trump had a diaper. Larry Summers, former Secretary of Harvard University and U.S. Treasury Secretary, appeared in emails with Epstein following the release of these files. Summer left the board of OpenAI. Thank you, Rugby. I hate Larry Summers. If you don't know about Larry Summers, he helped crash the economy. I have a video on him in my video Rolodex. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what kids call these playlists. Video tab? I don't know. Rolodex. Because he's a shit stain on America. He helped crash the economy in 2008, and then CBS had him on in 2021. Like, hey, Larry, what do you think we should do for the economy? And I'm like, does everybody have a goldfish memory? Don't correct me. I know goldfish have a good memory. I know. Does he have the memory of a fucking gnat? Is that where America's at? Like Larry Summers helped crash the economy. How they let this guy teach at Harvard, do open AI. It's just rich people getting to be like, hey, I'm rich. Don't you want to be part of your team? And they're like, yeah, he's rich. What do you guys think? Well, it's better than poor. All right, come on, Larry. And that's how the news operates in America. They're like, do we have somebody who's actually facing this economy and talk to that? No. Get a rich guy to tell us what poor people think. And then Larry Summers came on the news on CBS. I have a whole video on this. And he's like, the only way we're going to get out of this is laying people off. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is the news in America? The news is like talking to a guy who crashed the economy, clearly should not be addressing the economy. Like, Larry, you're coming off a little gropey with the economy. He's like, come here, let me lay you off, And you're like, Larry, just fucking cool it, buddy. This isn't the Epstein files. And he says, it's on my video. Larry Summers is like, the only way we're going to cool this inflation is fire a bunch of fucking people. I'm like, is anybody else going to get a pitchfork? No? Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready with you. You are, I don't know. We're run by perverts, conserva-pervs, which, by the way, I did promise you I'd talk about Trump's approval rating. Let me just check. Oh, yeah, it's in the shitter. It's in the shitter. Over half of America hates this turd. And guess what? They only asked approval ratings by issue. Listen to these issues. Inflation, boo. Taxes, boo. Jobs, foreign policy, immigration. They didn't even ask people's approval rating on the Epstein files. That's a disgrace. If you're going to do polling on approval ratings, I want hot topics, Did you see him poop his pants? What do you think about pooping your pants in the White House? Did you read about him in the Epstein files? What do you think about being in the Epstein files as the president? These are the topics. I mean, this whole shit is outdated, Immigration. What are you going to prove on immigration? They have a secret Epstein police kicking out American citizens. Foreign policy, we're an isolationist third world country at this point. Did you see that China and Canada have agreed to no visa travel? Canada is like cutting deals left and right and sideways with the rest of the world. Meanwhile, we're like, I guess we're going to keep shipping jobs out to fucking China. China's like, thanks, we'll take your jobs. We'll take your trade partners. Jobs in an economy, that doesn't even exist. We don't have an economy. We have, hey, this is what we have here in America, just in case you're wondering. If you thought we had an economy where like people worked and went on vacation and bought things, no. If you didn't read the story a few weeks ago, it's rich people. Rich people are spending. It used to be consumers, like the working class would be 70% of the economy. Now rich people are holding up that 50%. Rich people, so not gonna collapse soon. America's doing fine, guys. And if you don't believe me,
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. As if he had almost 7,000. The American people need to know this.
need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
The Dow's not at 50,000. I hate to break that. Is taking out loans because the Dow is at 50,000. Untaxed loans for everybody who is, buying a house right now because the Dow is at 50,000. For everybody who's going to the grocery store saying, "Hey, bitch, give me some egg." I heard the Dow's at now. For all of us who operate like that, like rich people, they're like, "I just want to buy that website." Dow's at 50,000. Put it on my tab. Fake money. It's at 49,533. So that song is a lie. I hate to say it. You know what isn't a lie? You know what? Do you want to know what's not a lie? Do you want to know what's not a lie? Hold on. Besides this term, that's the truth. You know what's not a lie? He never had the privilege of going to the island, and this is what he thinks of his daughter.
Does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Conserva-pervs. These people are so demented. They hate marginalized and minorities so much. They're like, That is my Christian overlord who is a conservative family man. The guy who wants to bang his daughter. The guy who's like, I never had the privilege of going to old Epstein Island. I flew on the Lolita Express many, many times. I'm listed all over those things, but I only went to Zorro Ranch. I was only with him in New York and at Mar-a-Lago, you know, where he was stealing young women from my massage parlor. At this point, we're just, you know, America's a mockery of itself. All right, so I think I went over the news. Now we'll get into the news, but before I do that, I'd like to play music for you. I'm not going to keep this up. No. No, we're going to get into some news, the Bayer stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Pritzker steps down from the Hyatt board. Oh. Guys, there are consequences. He doesn't get to keep his multi-million-dollar job. He's got to step down. This is a joke. These people just get to fucking... Anyways, we're going to get to the news. Colbert. I'm going to play the Colbert stuff that Donald Trump wouldn't allow on TV because, you know, they're anti-cancel culture. I love that their whole thing was like, everybody's trying to cancel us. We're like, not really. You know, we just don't want to hear from Nazis. And then they're like, as soon as they're in power, they're like, fire Colbert, fire Seth fucking Meyers, fire Jim Kimmel. Do they say Jimmy Kimmel? Like, he placates the Trump. They were like, don't let Stephen Colbert finish his contract. Get his interviews off the air. These are the most thin-skinned pieces of ever. All right? And then we'll go over this, the underage Trump accuser, which is kind of old news, but it's always good to rehash it. You know, we don't let this die. And then look at that. For everybody who's excited for the sweatshops to come to America, turns out they're... Is it on again?
Started watching well.
All right, before we read Joe Rogan's headline, I played some of this audio for the other day. So if you missed the audio, I'm not going to play it again. It's almost a punishment to the ears to hear this knuckle dragging hog talk. He's really, he's a stupid accelerant. You know, you listen to him and he lures you in with that. Hey man, I'm just like a billionaire, like everybody. I mean, a common man like everybody else. I just like to eat my elk meat and hunt on my 4 million acre ranch and eat my alpha pills. Joe Rogan sells pills that are called alpha pills. If you bought those, go fucking stick your head in the ground, okay? Who are you? Who are you, Clippy? Who are you? Who are you? That's really the question. I'm a guy on YouTube. Who are you? Beef broth. There we go. It's beef broth. It's rehydrated beef broth. Is that what Joe Rogan's alpha pills are? Rehydrated beef broth. Light and Johnny. What's up, Light and Johnny? How are you? It's called On It. Cray 420. Ooh, everybody, it's 420 somewhere. I don't know. Sorry, bone broth. Yeah, this bone broth knuckle dragon hog snarfer is just a complete psyop. That's all Joe is, you know. He was handpicked by Peter Thiel to make you feel like, oh man, this guy really is my friend. And it's like, you fucking dolt. This guy doesn't care if you exist. You kidding me? In fact, he's working on get you the fuck out of here. You think a guy who created a comedy, his what is it, Mother Spaceship in Austin, where he takes your camera and fingerprints you and rectal scans you and all that stuff to his comedy club just in case you heckle him? You think that guy gives a shit about you? Unless you're licking his boot, he don't care. You know, that's why his whole podcast is a bunch of people going, that's right, Joe. That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe. We've gotten stupider as a species. I'll be the one to say it. I'll be the one to say it. I know it's the mothership. I know. I just call it the mother space station. The spaceship mothers. I think that's what it's called. Joe Rogan's Spaceship Authority of Mothers. You know. I think that's the full title, the full working name, where where they made it legal to say the R word. Thank God for Joe's Club, you know, guys. Because if it wasn't for Joe's Club, we'd all be screwed. Nobody would be able to say the R word. And then the joke, because you could say it no matter what.
Legalized comedy.
But that fucking absentee dad, that absentee test tube baby dad, Elon and Joe, like thought during the election, hey, why don't we pump these morons with some propaganda like, hey, if you don't vote for Donald Trump, you'll never be able to say the R word again. It's like you could always say it. Always. You could always. Just people would think you're an R word, you know, if you used it like that. So, but you know, I guess now that's legal, and so is being a pervert. I don't even know what news to get into. Just shit's so depressing. Meanwhile, everybody gets to go to work. How's your job? You like fucking working 12 hours a day, 40 fucking jobs a week, you know, while the perverts in charge just get Joe Rogan to whitewash their image. And he's like, I don't know, guys. This could be a cover up now. It's like, Joe, where the fuck have you been? We knew this. We've all known this. I don't know. Here, Joe, let me play. I know this is crazy, but I think this guy might not be a good person.
Of a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know,
You know, that guy talking about her like that. I don't know. The guy who said
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
Oh, I like that, Daz. It's overwhelming. Wish we could all band together and have a couple of states to ourselves. I'm all for that. I'm totally all for that. Virtual reality for me. Good to see you. At least Trump hired the best from the Epstein list. Oh my God. He did hire the best from the Epstein list. You know, the most mentioned. I mean, wait, what was the hold on. Okay, so real quick, let's go over this. So Joe Rogan, I wouldn't say drops a bombshell. Who wrote this article? I wouldn't call that a bombshell. I would I would say Joe Rogan catches up to the rest of us on I don't know. Bad article. Bad clickbait. This should say Joe Rogan, guy who's allegedly supposed to have finger on the pulse and conspiracy, and guy whose fame grew because of peddling conspiracy theories, finally catches up with everyone. He says Trump's Epstein files cover up is no joke. That's the other funny thing. He called it terrible. He says it's a no joke. It's like, Joe, I've heard you talk about conspiracies. Usually you're not saying they're terrible and no joke. Oh. But then Jack White says this. Yeah, no shit, Slow Joe. We all knew this back when you were helping Trump get elected. I can't understand, though. You were busy giving out medical advice to millions with your advanced degree in uncle in garage lifting weights from UFC University. Holy shit. Yo, that is so funny. That is so funny. Jack White is on fire. I think the list, I don't even know how many people are spoken out. John Kick Murphy's, Jack White. I can't think of that one dude's name that they used as music. Oh, I can't remember. I was reading about it the other day. But there's just a ton of people, like, you know, and I'm not going to mention the obvious is the Tom Morellos, Bruce Springsteen, yada, 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 yada. But I mean, most likely, how's it feel, MAGA, that your listening playlist has to just rotate around Kid Rock and a couple of country artists that are like, I wish I could fish and tell my son he's a boy. Like, that's your biggest concern in fucking sweatshop America? Your biggest concern is that in America? How the fuck does that make you buy a house, you stupid? You stupid. All right. Let's hear. Oh, Woody Harrelson spoke out. Let's hear what Woody Harrelson. You guys know him, not Woody Allen, who's in the Epstein files. Woody Harrelson, whose dad was, I believe, a serial killer. He's a great actor. King Ahmad, thank you for the $2 Euro chat, $2 super chat in euros. Appreciate you. X-Ray, super hilarious is part. He says he's concerned about right-wing propaganda. Wait, who said Rob Canton? Who is Jack White? Are you kidding? You kidding, right? Jack White from the White Stripes? Not Jack Black from Tenacious D, Jack White from the White Stripes. By the way, fuck Jack Black, man. Kind of bummed that Kyle Grass was a rocker and Jack White Jack Black broke up the band. That was a long time ago, but do I know about Ball? You mean Jeffrey Epstein's bank account? Yeah, I do. Rogan podcast was beaten by Midas Touch. Yeah. Dude, who's Jack White? Who the fuck is Kid Rock? One hit wonder. Not only are you a moron, but you think Jack White is a one-hit wonder band? You don't know the other stuff he does, and that's okay, you know. But I'm not here to educate you on musical artists, so just shut the fuck up and leave. We don't have. Here's the thing. If you're new here, I'm Rob. Welcome. Hit subscribe. Hit notification bell. I just don't tolerate twaatsies. You know, these faux, like, their whole argument rests around, like, oh, Jack White spoke out against my hero and savior, Lord Elkmead himself, the third, Mr. Uncle in garage lifting weights with his UFC University degree. Like, if you're offended by that, get the fuck out, okay? Take your thin skin elsewhere. Because if you can't understand that Jack White is a really good artist, we don't have much in common. You know what I mean? And you could even disagree. You could be like, you know what? The bare bones of Jack and what was her name playing drums just wasn't my, I know they made their post grunge sound much bigger and amplified than just a guitar and drums, but it just wasn't up my alley. If you'd said something like that, I'd be like, all right, I get it. You know, some of that White Stripe stuff gets repeating. Burp, do. But then I'm like, have you ever heard the Dead Weather? Have you ever heard the Rocketeurs? You know, Jack's other bands. And then, you know, but you're not even there. So it's like, just fucking, what was it? All American Rejects? Move along, like everybody wants you to. All right, Woody Harrelson, tell us.
We have a guy running this country who has unearthed a lot of bigotry and a lot of racism, and it seems to be more virulent than ever. So, yeah, it's strange how.
Hold on, and it's not even more virulent than ever. Great word, Woody. But it's law of the land. Like the Supreme Court okayed people to be stopped and frisked or stopped and kidnapped by skin color or language they're speaking. They legalized racism. We re-legalized racism in America. So it's not just about being virulent, but it's like, this is what, when you see MAGA in the comments, just know this is Dead Weather is fire. Thank you, Infinity88. Thank you. The lost this is where, like, just fucking somebody take that person, Patrick, get him the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. The lost left. Let me show you what not even like most leftists believe, but you know what America believed at one point. This is Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Economic Bill of Rights. I'm a firm believer in this shit. Right to good education, right to adequate protection from the economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment, right to adequate medical care and the opportunity to achieve and enjoy good health, the right of every family to a decent home, the right of every businessman, large and small, against corporations. Those are the people that were at Donald Trump's inauguration and are, you know, bribing him by paying for his ballroom, the Epstein Memorial Ballroom. The right to every farmer to raise and sell his products at a return, which Donald Trump has abandoned. They're all failing. The right to earn enough to provide adequate food, clothing, and what's that there? Recreation. This is one of the most popular presidents in American history, okay? 4 times fucking elected to office. The right to useful and remunerative what was that? Job in the industries or shops or farms or mines of the nation. I can't speak for all leftists, but when he talks about food, shelter, healthcare, education, a decent home, recreation, that's what we believe in. And if you're going to say, like, God help the left, God is with the left. What you don't understand about the conserva-pervs is they're godless. They're fucking godless. Look at the Epstein files and you'll realize they're godless. But even more, just look at their actions. They criminalize people because of skin color. They don't want you to have fucking Medicaid or SNAP or Section 8 or fucking express yourself how you are. Jesus only had fucking 2 rules that were most important to him. The second was, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. You fucking heathens, I am on a mission from God to prove all of you wrong by your actions and your fucking political consequences. You bunch of twatsies. So if you'd like to join me on my mission, it is ordained by God. I'm on a mission from God. No one else but God. Whatever you deem God to be, it can be that one too. I don't give a shit. Jesus didn't tell me make everybody this. You know what he said? Love everybody. Okay? So I'm on a mission from God, and every time I see those motherfuckers, it's hard not to ask them, you know, what part of God do you believe in? The one where he was smiting in the Old Testament? Because I don't think that's the cross on your neck you fucking think you're wearing. Anyways, go ahead, Woody.
It seems like we're going backward. And yeah.
No, we are going backward, but yes.
I wish that there were a way to, get rid of that sort of a and get in it.
Listen, I loved Woody Harrelson when he was in Cheers, okay? Some of his stuff, you know, whatever, but I'll take it.
Great president, you know, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen, and I don't know how much she's going to continue to foment hatred.
Ferment hatred. Thank you, Woody. What else do we have? Ooh, Congressman Thomas Massie talks about the Epstein files. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? The Epstein files. I don't know if you're new here. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I found these. Digging through the Epstein files looking for Melania's name, even though they've deleted a ton of stuff. I remember when I first looked up Trump's, there was tens of thousands of files on Trump. And then a couple days later, there was only 4,000. Most transparent regime ever, says North Korean news lady Joe Rogan.
Why do you think he is working so hard not to get them released for so many months? What do you think the real reason is?
These files implicate billionaires and friends of him, of his, and political donors that he's trying to protect. And Epstein also had close ties to our own intelligence agencies and Israel's intelligence agencies. That's why there's so much effort in trying to stop this. And I do believe they'll try to stop it somewhere else.
And now let's talk about, and if you didn't see, I figured the one I highlighted that. This is the one phrase out of the Epstein files that explains the whole thing. This is a girl kind of giving journal entries. I'm not exactly sure which girl, but you can see, you know, hers 14-year-old. She was 14 years old. So she's referencing other girls of that age. And when she's talking about, then he turns over. He touches, I had never seen a thing before. It was so small, and that's why I figured he wanted young girls. Because he was embarrassed. Here's one of the roots of the Epstein files, because these are thin-skinned, inadequate, absolute no confidence men, you know. And you could tell a confident man because just look at what Trump does. He's always the best, whining about getting the Peace Prize, needing other people to make up fake soccer Peace Prizes for him. He can never be asked a question he doesn't like, or he says, that's not very nice, leave. You know, he basically has to call people names, that he did it better. There's never been anyone the best in the world than him. That is no confidence. Because if you're confident, you don't need to consistently and just repeatedly brag about how you are the greatest. Usually if you're confident, other people will be like, hey man, this guy's pretty good at, you know, touching the ivories. And that's not an Epstein reference, you know. He's pretty good on the piano. And people are like, oh, no. And they're like, go down, just go sit. And then he's like, blah, 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 you know. That's confidence. This dude ain't confident. None of these motherfuckers. That's why, you know, they're driven so hard to have all the money and all the power. But I just want to show you, because Massie said what? Hold on. We're going to get to that. Here we go. Let's listen to this newscast about how there's high-profile resignations. You know what that means? These people that are in the Epstein files, they're just going to leave their job. Probably get a nice severance package, you know. Probably go back to their mansion, keep their stock options, you know, maybe even get a call up from another company like we looked at with the CEC of Chuck E. Cheese. He went to another company. So he's not with Chuck E. Cheese anymore. Now he's with, I don't know, hopefully doesn't deal with children or people. Maybe he's an AI person now. I don't know.
Recent release of millions of pages of documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has now led to a wave of resignations and scrutiny over high-profile executives around the world. That includes a top lawyer at Goldman Sachs, the CEO of Dubai's largest port, and a former president of Harvard University. Now, we should note that being mentioned in
3, and then here's 4, and then Chuck E. Cheese CEO 5. So you're telling me, hold on, America, I want to get this straight. Is everybody content that everybody just has to like walk away from their job and the Epstein file thing disappears? Is that what these fucking rich people think? That they're like, I can't be the CEO and the head lawyer for Goldman Sachs anymore. Man, me being CEO of Chuck E. Cheese is really putting a damper on this whole Epstein thing. I'll take a job somewhere else. Like, this is what they fucking, and guess what? Trump's letting them get away with it. Donald Trump is protecting them. His criminal attorney, Todd Blanch, said, no investigate. Hey, listen, I wish we could investigate. I wish we had something. Have you read the Epstein files? Cold case. I don't even know who these people are. This is a joke. They are fucking laughing in your face.
In the documents does not necessarily indicate wrongdoings.
I would say, if you've read the documents, some of it necessarily indicates wrongdoing. That's why Todd Blanch said he can't release some of the files because it literally had wrongdoing in it.
Still, though, some lawmakers are calling for more transparency from the DOJ.
And you'll never get it because this is a corrupt regime where they're in it to protect themselves, make billions for themselves while they feed these slop hogs that you see in the comments. Nothing will happen now because there's no justice system left in the country. There is no justice system. Trump is a poopy pants crybaby. Appreciate that comment. Blondie, you have a criminal in your state. How dare you? Chuck E. was only named as a speaker at a conference in the Middle East, not necessarily a here's the thing, Eggy Rose. That you know of, there's over 3 million files not released, and the most heinous files will never, I don't think we'll ever see them. And this is what Todd Blanch said. I played this audio yesterday, the day before, where he was like, we have death, abuse, and CSAM that we can't release. So as far as we know, he took a speaking engagement in the Middle East, but that's as far as we know. This is why it's so frustrating that it's like, oh, we're supposed to fucking go to work and pretend like our CEOs aren't fucking supporting this dude. Any decent human with a backbone, with fucking any kind of character or integrity would just be like, I reject this whole fucking system. Bullshit. Not until we see some prosecute. I mean, other countries are doing it. You know, other countries are prosecuting. Not England. They like took a guy's last name and sent him to the small mansion. But like, this is so deeply entrenched. I was even going to go over that Harvey Weinstein is named in the emails as a good friend and someone who could do some PR for Jeff Epstein. And I go to TMZ to see if they're reporting on it. And guess what? They have a video that says Ellen DeGeneres is in the Epstein files and it's bad. And I watched the video and there was nothing about Ellen. And I'm like, it's all of them. It's all of them, and they run the media. That's why it's important that, you know, if you don't mind showing your face and speaking out, do it now before, you know, I'll play the illegal audio clip of Stephen Colbert's interview that, you know, the government censored. The government censored. Remember MAGA when they were like, hey, man, you're trying to censor us. HIPAA, I'm not wearing a mask. So let's listen to this lawmaker, you know, do some theater for us.
50%. Half of the Epstein files have not been released to the public, to the Congress. And of those that have been released, the actual files that have been out in the public or that we've seen, they're overly redacted. Many of the survivors and victims, their names are actually appearing, so there's no protection for the survivors. Yet the names of billionaires, the names of folks that can be co-conspirators, that helped fund Jeffrey Epstein, that could have actually been involved in the terror and rape, as we know, abuse of women and children, some of those names continue to be redacted and protected.
So for more on this, let's bring in CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen. So Jake, Attorney General Pam Bondi sent a letter over the weekend to Congress with a long list of names appearing in those files. But we should note that doesn't mean the person was convicted of any crimes.
This is so funny. I love how CBS, fuck you, Barry Weiss, she has her people that are on the news continually say, that doesn't mean anybody's been convicted of crime. You should be saying, that doesn't mean they've been investigated. That's the truth. They haven't been infected. I'll just find it. God damn it. I'm going to have to do the Todd Blanch thing. Really? I got to do it so you could believe what I'm saying. Where's the Todd Blanch thing? God damn it. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so angry.
Today we are producing more than held, include those permitted under the Act to be withheld. Files that contain personally identifiable information of victims or victims' personal and medical files, and similar files, the disclosure of which would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation.
Which isn't happening.
And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury.
So I play that first because I want you to understand that he admits that's what's in the unreleased files. Are we all clear? Are we all clear? This is Hello. 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 I love the conspiracy theories going on. Let's see if I'm back. Lalita, can you hear me? All right, back, finally. I've been watching you guys chat, and it's hilarious. I like the conversations. Keep them going. I like that everybody's conversing. This is like a virtual town hall where everybody's on their own topic. Absolutely love it. They didn't get me yet. Yet. Don't worry, I'll live stream if they come for me. This is not the same guy. Richard's on to something. And now we're going to play Joe Rogan's podcast in its entirety and just nod along and say, yes, sir. Yes. Ooh, elk meat. That sounds delicious. Okay, here's Todd Blanch. Remember, this is Donald Trump's criminal attorney who is now in the White House, and he's the secretary to Pam Bondi. He takes all her calls and lies on TV for her. And this is him on Fox News with Laura white supremacist Ingram.
Any chance?
We have a narrative because the other narrative doesn't work.
We're asking us about as reliable as some of the people we saw on camera at the rallies. Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in, relations with minors will be prosecuted? Any chance?
I'll never say no. And we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But
Do you have evidence of misconduct? I just played it for you, Todd. Did you already forget from the last TV studio you walked from to this one? Did you already forget because you have evidence of misconduct? That was his whole thing. His whole thing was like, we can't release this as evidence of misconduct. And this motherfucking guy has the balls to go on TV and tell you, hey, listen, I'd love to investigate, but here's the thing. Just wait. I'll play the whole thing.
Relations with minors will be prosecuted. Any chance?
I'll never say no. And we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. And so as horrible as...
I don't know. His party sounded kind of Diddy-esque, but worse. So I don't know. What I read, I would say if I was there... if my 100 air ass was there, I'm not even 100 air, we'd be in prison. Why is Jeff Epstein? Why is Ghislaine in prison then? She partied with him all the time. These are the follow-up questions I wish Laura white supremacist Ingraham, whatever her name is, would ask. Just simple. Let's see what she says. Why? Let's see if Laura, spoiler alert, she doesn't say this, says, why did Ghislaine go to jail then? Why is she sitting in prison? She partied pretty hard with Jeff.
It's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And
let me just find one of them emails for you. Hold on. Let me just find one of these emails. One of these absolute, not a crime emails that they sent to Mr. Epstein. Let me just find it. Give me 1 second, and then I'll play his audio again for you. So, okay, here we go. Here's a Harvard professor. Okay, this is an email to Mr. Epstein. And what does the secretary to Pam Bondi say?
To party with Mr. Epstein. And so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein.
I don't know. If you're the second top cop in the country and you saw that email, you wouldn't want to do a follow-up, do a SVU, Ice-T Special Victims Unit, whatever. You wouldn't want to do nothing? Really? We know where he is. He's at Harvard teaching children. Okay, Todd, let's hear that again. You just, wait, what was it? Just partying with him wasn't a crime. Okay. Why is Ghislaine in jail?
Relations with minors will be prosecuted. Any chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein.
Okay.
And so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And some of these men may have done horrible things, and if we have evidence that allows
What the fuck? Some of them may have
us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand, that it isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. It isn't a crime to have
Didn't look like that's all that was going on some of those photos. I mean, it's the photos.
Never mind the photos, but you know, the content of their emails. Just call me crazy. I don't know. Right now I'm feeling smarter than the FBI and the fucking Attorney General and Secretary. I refuse to call him deputy because nobody's deputizing this dipshit unless it's in dipshittery. But Secretary Attorney General. You're a second to Pam Blondie. I know in the MAGAverse that hurts.
Could speak. Some of them look pretty bad.
That's right. And unfortunately, photos can't speak. And so we...
Fortunately, photos can't speak. The people that are in the photos are alive. You can talk to them. You can. It's this thing called interviews. Interviews. It's called an investigation. Didn't he say he wouldn't say no? Holy fuck.
We need witnesses, and we need
Are there
evidence,
videotapes?
We need witnesses. We need witnesses. I'm gonna play you a clip of Pam Blondie standing in front of witnesses. Okay, is everybody ready? This is Pam Blondie standing in front of the witnesses.
The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
I swear to Christ. Listen to me, government. You keep interrupting my live stream and we're going to have some fucking issues, okay? Let me remind the government real quick. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I take no shit, okay? This country, with its institutions, belongs to the people, not the rich conservapervs who inhabit it. Whenever they shall grow weary of the existing government, they can exercise their constitutional right of amending it or their revolutionary right to dismember or overthrow it. Abraham Lincoln, 1861. You're not going to silence me like I'm some fucking James Talarico on Colbert's show. I'm done. Cut it out. I'm doing a show right now. There's a bunch of people that would like to hear. What's the Dow at?
How many perpetrators are you even? The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
I love the guy at the end. The guy at the end looks like death incarnate. Anyways. Don't pull that party bullshit. I don't pull party bullshit, okay? I am a Democrat. I'm a radical left wokeist. I'm the one that the Republicans made the boogeyman. You know that monster you're scared of that's going to come out from under your bed and give you health care and make sure you don't lose your housing and you can afford egg and you don't have to work 17 days a week? That's us. We're the radical lefts. Socialists. We believe the power is with the people, that workers should not have to fucking answer to a pervert CEO. You know what I mean? That's what's radical. Is that they've convinced you, the Democrats and the Republicans, just work a little harder, man. That's all. If you just work harder, you'll one day be 50. And by then, homeowners will be 80. And we'll have a 150-year mortgage. And you'll be happy about it. Don't worry. Gas is 8 cents off. Slop that up, you scruffy nerf herder. Hey, what's up, Hamdabunya? Good to see you. Oh my God, healthcare? How fucking dare you, Brian? What's up? Yeah, well, this is why I gotta deprogram people to understand that, like, number one, I've never been a registered Democrat or Republican in my fucking life. And if you think I ever would, I spit on you, okay? But a lot of America has gone, team sports. They think red or blue, and that's all you can be. So they don't understand that when Donald Trump is scaring them and saying like, hey, you know how we're the toughest men ever? Well, we're very scared of the radical left. So scary. Everybody be scared of them. And nobody goes, well, why, sir? Like, that's the only thing I want somebody to do is say why. Not say they're American hating, yada, yada, because we love FDR. We love fucking presidents who want to help the people. So I just wish someone would go, Donald Trump, what is so scary about the radical left? What? Name some of their, points of view. Name some of them. Don't take no shit from Nazis. Always stand up to bullies. Persecute, prosecute, fucking investigate everyone in the Epstein files. Leave no stone unturned. I don't know. And then the core essentials of radical left, wokeism. And you could be one too. This is why I deprogram people. We believe healthcare is a human right. Housing is a human right. Food is a human right. Who gives a fuck about 8 cents off gas? I don't. I wouldn't give a shit if gas was $1 billion. Because in my economy, you don't have to go to work every fucking day and go to 3 different jobs. Your healthcare is guaranteed. Your housing's guaranteed. Your food is guaranteed. There's 25 empty homes for every homeless person in America. You could do the math and it would work out. Just rich people would have one less home. Poor rich people, they only have $1 trillion, guys. How are they ever going to survive? How are they ever going to afford that second mini yacht to follow Jeff Bezos' big yacht? Like, you don't even understand what game they're playing. And that's why I'm playing this Epstein shit for you. Well, they're telling you,
I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
no, Pam, shut up. Great voice when it's auto-tuned. Absolute banger, song of the summer. I don't disagree. I will be playing, I will make a CD of only that clip and play it on fucking repeat so it becomes the song of the summer if I have to. I will vote for it in the, what is the British thing at Christmas time where they play a song. I will vote for it and she'll have to go there and sing it, But that is them letting you know, you stupid plebes, just pay attention to your retirement, which Dr. Oz just said you don't even get to enjoy anymore. You're just not going to retire. That's why they're raising the retirement age. And they're telling you, here, look at look over here, jingle some keys. I don't think it worked, basically because that was a fucking banger, You realize, you see through it once you get some good art in there.
Perpetrators, are you even? Down right now.
I swear to God. Government, get off my live stream. You fucking feds. I lost my 401k in 2008. What is the future life like? Did you bring back one of those Back to the Future betting things? Raising the retirement age so Israel can have healthcare and retirement. Thank you, Go Samurai. Good to see you. Alejandro Iman, European, just as worse as American. No, it's not. It's not. But good try. Good try. Good try. Good try. What's up, Rob? How you doing? Perpetually fighting tyranny, racism, misogyny, homophobia, and all that stuff gets exhausting, but I do it for the love, not the likes. But if you could hit like, that would be awesome too. Sir John, good to see you. Sports Almanac, thank you, Thorne. The math is correct. I don't know what math we're doing. Is it how many perverts are going to prison? 0? Oh my God. I can't believe these people just get to quit their jobs. Like, could you imagine? I just want to take a second. Okay? We're not going to listen to.
The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Guys, stop looking at the Dow. I need your focus. I need your focus, okay? Me. Could you imagine if you had said any of the things in the Epstein files, any of them, okay? and your work found out, would you just get to be like, guys, I think I'm going to resign? Is that how it would work for you? And if so, what the fuck do you do? Are you a CEO? You know, you stupid wealthy. Why are you on my live stream if you're on a CEO? You know, free Luigi. He did nothing wrong, innocent until proven guilty. Saint Luigi, my bad. He's been sainted. The homeless map to housing. Thank you, Lawrence. And that is a fact here in America. Just like 1 in 5 children in America go food insecure. That's a word corporations made up to make you not feel bad about saying 1 in 5 kids starve in America every day. Don't know where their next meal is coming from. That's America, land of the free to starve to death. I don't fucking know anymore. Mangione Robinson, 2028. Love when you say that. The files, they rattled me to my core. What's up, Kim? I hope I pronounced that right. I saw the 2 M's. But seriously, any of you guys, you know, just speak like, you know, just use presidential language, Epstein presidential language at work, and see if you get to not be fired, but just go, I'm going to resign. I'm going to take a job over here. You know, I'm going to make a lateral move to a different company. It's fucking crazy. And somehow we're all tolerating this shit. I go to work and I'm like, fuck this. Because my CEO said, make the company great again, alluding to he supports Donald Trump. And that's perversion at this point. If you stand up for Donald Trump, if you're supporting him and you've read some of these files, we'll get to them. You know, this one. If you just read that he's angry at the people demanding transparency. Hold on. Oh, yeah. We'll go over that. The FBI interviewed. They did do a little work. You know, I wish they had bragged about that. They interviewed a girl who, what was it? Look, she would have been 13 to 15 in the 80s. Now, I played that clip from you from Robin Williams. I think that was the 90s where he talked about Donald Trump. Or maybe even the early 2000s. I don't know. All Robin Williams stand-up kind of mashes together. Unless you see him, you know, with the crazy 80s shirts. That's when you know it's the 80s. So this must have been early 2000s. But I mean, anybody supporting this, you either can't read or you're a bird of a feather at this point. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of bird that is, but whatever that is. This is the files they're talking about. There's Donald Trump's name. You could read this. You could pause it or read it later. I'm not reading it. And then on top of that, never mind. Let's step aside from the Epstein files for 1 second, okay? Let's just step aside. We're not going to talk about the Dow. I know that's all she wants to talk about. It's not at 50,000. So sorry, bitch. But did you see this in the news today? Link down below. Billionaire Trump donor closing U.S. plant and moving work to China. Wait, here it is. No. Wait. Where's the... Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. This is a good list. We'll talk about this list. Hold on. I have the article right here. Let me read it real quick for you. One of President Trump's oldest donors and secret keeper, keeper of secrets, is closing a manufacturing plant in Ohio and moving it to China. A slap in the face to American workers he claimed to be fighting for. Well, we all knew he wasn't fighting for American workers, you know, unless you consider CEO a worker, which I don't. Maybe some idiots do, but don't do that. Hedge fund billionaire John Paulson plans to offshore the Eastlake, Ohio plant of Conn-Selmer, the largest U.S. manufacturer of brass and orchestra instruments. We can't have American producers closing American factories and offshoring. We need to protect American jobs and protect American manufacturing, Paulson said just a short year ago, before we had all of this Epstein information. And now, he says, we came in with the full, hold on, this is somebody else talking about it. We came in with the full proposal, fully prepared to bargain, and then started off with a presentation telling us how bad we were doing, said UAW Local 2359 President and Plant Worker Robert Hines. to go publicly on CNBC to support the Trump administration's positive views on tariffs and all that stuff, and then you turn around and say you want to go send the work right over to China, it's a slap in our face. I would say anybody who thought anybody who was for Trump was for workers, you're a fucking dolt. You shouldn't be. We should take your right to vote. Like, that's just fa, man. You know? And I played the clip of the farmer who was crying in Arkansas because his soy farm was going under, and Donald Trump said he loved him, and that's all he needed to vote. He was like, Donald Trump said he loved me. He's clearly going to take care of me. He's going to wipe my butt for me because I'm dependent on the fucking government now. Isn't that funny? How all these maggots were like, oh, we hate people dependent on the government. And as soon as shit goes wrong for them, they're like, we need the government. It's like, that's what us leftists have been saying. It's all our taxes. It should be used for us, not fucking Israel. My God.
Mr. Trump, he looked at me, sir, and he said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
You're not even going to see the fruit of his loom, buddy. Shut your face, fucking close down, and go fucking work somewhere else. Why don't you go fucking work at a coffee shop, you lose. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we should be saying to those people. And then we should strip them of their right to vote. Because that's what they want to do to us. Let's face it. Sending ICE to the polls, you know, voter ID. We should have a voter fucking IQ test. Donald Trump should be able to pass, right? Right?
It wasn't rain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark.
Oh, great. So you should be able to take an IQ test, you know, and it will be simple shit. Like, is Donald Trump in the Epstein files accused of heinous things? Yes or no? True or false? You know, just a simple IQ test. That's what I say we do. Simple IQ test for voting from now on. And you could fucking, you know, get mad at me all you want, you poll taxers, whatever. I don't give a shit. We need to weed you motherfuckers out. Sounds like Marxism. But thank you. I'm a Marxist. It would be higher than mine. Listen, if you support Donald Trump, you're most likely an incel. And I talked about this the other day because Steve Bannon, your head incel, came out and said, we targeted incels because they were the stupidest. So, you know, supporting Donald Trump isn't an intellectual brag like you think it is. Here is Donald Trump. He said, I think it was today, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to do with Epstein. Right. I've been totally exonerated. And somebody made a list. Epstein is on tape saying he's Donald Trump's best friend. We also saw the poem Donald Trump sent him for his birthday. He flew on the Lolita Express at least 8 times. Trump and Melania first had on the Lolita Express. He shared a girlfriend with Epstein. He wrote Epstein that creepy beat day. It's a poem. It's a poem. It's a love poem. Him and Epstein had teen models at Mar-a-Lago alone. There's a picture of Trump buying a depreciated girl from Epstein with a giant check in 2011. He spent hours at Epstein's house with the victim. And honestly, I'm leaving out more salacious and criminal accusations here. This isn't even 2006, wait, what did I say? 200 of the claims against him. Sorry, I can't read in that corner. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I don't suffer fools. Go to Tim Pool's podcast. He'll take your, you know, your thin ego fucking. Guys, all you got to do is, you know, discuss what we're discussing and you won't get timed out for a day. That's it. It's a simple task. I know. It's much to ask from fucking dodo birds. I know it is, because you have to wait for Donald Trump to tell you what to say. But all you got to do is, you know, refute this shit. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. I want to hear you refute it. Or I want to hear what your real excuse is. Like, you know, your values align with him. That's why usually people vote for someone, because your values align. Your values align with Donald Trump. That's why you support him, especially right now. You're anti-worker. You're pro-pervert, and you hate yourself. You're a self-loathing pervert who hates the working class. Your values align with Donald Trump, and that's why you stand for him. I haven't heard anything else. I haven't. I haven't. You guys like to attack me, but we're talking about your Lord and Madam President, Donald F. Trump. Man, these herbs. You can tell they don't have friends. Because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't sit into a live stream where I get called a pervert. I have too much respect for myself. But then again, I don't support Donald Trump. And what did Donald Trump say about people that don't like him? What did he say? I can't remember.
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him. Well, I don't like him. I guess I'm pretty smart.
Don't take Tylenol.
Remember that? Your executive order? What do you have, a fucking deal cut with ibuprofen? My God. All right, let's go over a little other news because there is some other news. What would the other news be?
It's Clover 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P on my 7th now. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow.
Okay, so you guys, yeah, official Chris, Boston Rob 2028. Yo, don't worry. I'm not a billionaire, so you have to have $1 trillion to run for president, or you have to, have desperate incel money, like Elon Musk. Imagine that, not even fucking having enough friends to not throw 300 million at an election. Palantir, owned by Peter Thiel, a gay man who is, supporting people who want to take the rights of the LGBTQ community away. Because he thinks he's gonna, be one of the supreme land overlords. He's got some shit coming for him, though. I don't think the people would allow it, But he owns Palantir. Palantir owns a big chunk of Spotify, and they gave Joe Rogan $100 million to be good friends and whitewash their image. Anyways, their revenue they saw their revenue climb 56% to $4.475 billion, driven by a 75% jump in sales and government deals. Now, if you don't know what government deals mean, that means our tax money is paying a billionaire $10 billion to surveil us. And then, thanks to carry forward losses from prior deficits and new research deduction, saved them over $400 million in taxes. Now, I just want to point out before you go, well, it's the law, because there's always the bootlickers who are like, well, they're just smarter than you are, dummy. I pay my taxes and I'm a dummy, but they're the smartest because they loopholed the law. That's not how this works. How it works is they wrote the laws to loophole. Donald Trump fired everybody in the IRS that went after high-income earners and corporations and billion-dollar audits. Okay, you could just look that up. That's how they're doing this. And on top of that, not only are they not paying taxes, but taxpayers are paying them. We're paying them. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? They're going to surveil you. So if you step out of line, your money paid for them to oppress you. Meanwhile, all we want is egg and a little healthcare. You know what I mean? Without an AI denial. It's fucking crazy, man. Are you paying attention? Is anybody paying attention? Is anybody paying attention? Is anybody paying attention? We are paying Palantir while they get... Here's the loophole thing for people. No. If your company makes billions, you don't get a loophole. You just pay your fucking taxes. And if you can't run a company on billions, maybe your company shouldn't exist. There's a new amendment. 23rd Amendment, 25th Amendment. I don't give a shit what number it is. Amendment 007. Or here's an Elon Musk. Amendment 69420. How about this? If you make billions, you fucking pay taxes at the highest rate. I don't know, 75%. We'll do a 75. We'll give you a nice 25% cut of that. You pay 75% so our roads don't look like a bunch of potholes and our people don't look like a bunch of potholes. Okay? There's my platform for 2028. Oh, pink fur. You're right. The Dow is up. We shouldn't be mad over this guy. You shouldn't be mad you're paying $10 billion in your taxes to Palantir, who pays no taxes.
You even the Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow? How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even?
All right, I can't do it again. Hold on. Here, I just want to play a couple of seconds. Maybe more than a couple of seconds. I'm sorry. I want to play James Talarico because a lot of people don't believe me when I said Jesus hates MAGA. He fucking hates MAGA. Jesus can't stand MAGA. I don't know why they keep wearing his cross and then talking about, you know, fucking chasing after immigrants. I really can't get it. But maybe they'll take it, not from a New Englander, but maybe a Texan, you know? A guy who wore boots because they like to lick boots. So maybe a guy who wore boots can explain this to him. And if you don't know, Colbert exposed that the government censored his show, would not allow this interview to be aired. You can find it on YouTube at Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Okay, if you want to find this for yourself and watch it in its entirety, it's a good interview. I like James Talarico. I like him. He looked like an old baby. Or like an old toddler. If you've never seen James Talarico, he's got some grays, but he's got such a baby face. You know? Like he's got to be careful around that Epstein crowd. They got to see the grays. That's probably why he has the grays going to Capitol Hill. He's like, guys, no, not 7. But James fucking lays it down like the king he is. Is that what the kids say? Is that what the fucking kids say? I don't know. What do the kids say? What do they say? I know what they say. Take it, James.
We say what we read, and this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top.
He's talking about Colbert not being able to air this interview because the government said so. Remember MAGA when they were like, hey, we hate cancel culture. Stop trying to silence us. This is literally the government not allowing this to air on TV. We are fucking North Korea.
They went after The View because I went on there. They went after Jimmy Kimmel for telling a joke they didn't like.
By the way, if you think somebody is confident and they're chasing somebody else around, being like, that's a bad person, that exudes lack of confidence. Can't believe I have to explain this to Americans. But we are stupid. We are stupid. Sorry, the rest of the world. But that song, if you're going to be dumb, you got to have the biggest military in the world, is true. It is a true song. Might not be the right lyrics, but I'm pretty sure it goes something like that.
They went after you for telling the truth about Paramount's bribe to Donald Trump. Corporate media executives are selling out the First Amendment to curry favor with corrupt politicians. And a threat to any of our First Amendment rights is a threat to all of our First Amendment rights.
Right? You don't get to pick and choose who gets rights. It's either all or none. That's it. That's how it works.
So I'm just to fact check you. Trump won Texas by 14%. Why do you think this year Texas is considered a possibility by Democrats?
I'm an 8th generation Texan. My family.
Wait. Sorry, I gotta get to the part where he starts talking about the fake Christians.
This is one of the most exciting parts. We have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without
religion as a tool of political power.
Well, for 50 years, the religious right, a political movement, that is the perfect description for it. They convinced a lot of our fellow Christians that the most important issues were abortion and gay marriage. 2 issues that aren't mentioned in the Bible, 2 issues that Jesus never talked about. Jesus in Matthew 25 tells us exactly how you and I in every one of our fellow believers how we're going to be judged and how we're going to be saved. By feeding the hungry, by healing the sick, by welcoming the stranger. Nothing about going to church, nothing about voting Republican. It was all about how you treat other people. Don't.
I would just like to say James Talarico's stealing my bit. That's my bit. That's my bit, James. I do that here, when these MAGAs come in here, and they talk about immigration with a cross on their necks. I'm like, is that burning a hole in your skin? Because, James, this is like kind of my thing, man. I'm an ordained reverend, James. Look, what are you, a preacher, pastor? Representative, preacher, pastor? How many titles can you have? That's not fair. We got to stick to one, James. Stick to one, but go on.
I've said before, don't tell me what you believe. Show me how you treat other people, and I'll tell you what you believe.
Oh, shit. World Star.
And I think in our faith, we've got to get back to those fundamentals. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. And when I was little, he told me that Christianity is a simple religion. Not an easy religion, he would always clarify, but a simple religion because Jesus gave us 2 commandments: love God and love neighbor. And there was no exception to that second commandment. Love thy neighbor regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or immigration status or religious affiliation. And it's why I have fought so hard for the separation of church and state in the state capitol in Texas, because...
Well, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah, please.
Because you did, as a state rep, you fought against a bill requiring the 10...
We're called to love all of our neighbors, including our...
Parable of the Good Samaritan. If you don't believe James Talarico or me, go read the parable of the Good Samaritan. Or better yet, listen to Martin Luther King Jr.'s dissemination of the Good Samaritan parable. It's amazing. If you've never heard, I should pull it up. I really should. This is like, hold on, MLK on Good Samaritan. No, I want a video. I want the audio. Here we go. It's 5 minutes long. We're going to listen to it. I'm going to make you listen to this. I'll speed it up, but this is good stuff. If you've never heard it, by the way, you can find like a lot of Martin Luther King Jr.'s just speeches and talks and stuff online. And I would highly encourage you to listen to him for yourself. Don't let the media tell you what the fuck he was, because they're going to, pervert his narrative. They want to use him. They fought against him when he was alive, and then they want to co-opt his narrative once he's gone, where he can't speak out against it, and the people that he fought for are still marginalized and still put on the back burner. So this is very important, but let's finish with old James Talarico. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, agnostic, atheist neighbors. And forcing our religion down their throats is not love. And it's why I have fought.
And that is the basis of Christianity. Love your neighbor. In case anybody was getting all wonky with it, not paying attention. I haven't read the chat in a minute. Hold on. Wait, who's saying Mark? Mark? You've already broke 4 commandments. Hey, Mark, go look in the Epstein files before you start fucking judging me. Take the plank out of your eye, okay? But what did Sentient Ghost say? Mark, are you in serious? Jesus was not welcome. He was not. And murked by the state for it. He absolutely was a foreigner in his own land. Holy shit, you guys have a right to use religion as justification. They don't. You know what they're doing, Sentient Ghost? They're using Jesus like a fucking billy club to beat a shillelagh. They're using Jesus as a weapon. They don't give a shit that here are his words himself in the red. Okay? That's it. That's it. In fact, you want to talk about the commandments? You know what Jesus said? Do you really want to know what Jesus said about the commandments? He said, I go even further. Never mind, you shall not commit adultery. But you know what? If you even lust after somebody, if your right hand tempts you, cut it off. It'd rather be without a right hand than to be lusting after somebody. And let me just play you your God and Queen Queef lusting after somebody. Let's see, who could this be? This is Donald Trump talking about who? Oh, it's his daughter.
Magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Ah, Jesus hates you because, you know, you're lusting after your daughter, which I don't know if that's in the commandments. Thou shalt not make your fucking family tree a crown of thorns, a circular bush with a bunch of pricks on it. So, you know, I don't want to hear about the Ten Commandments fucking when you're worshiping Donald Trump. Get that plank out of your eye, you lame bitch. You could be healed and could be redeemed, but you got a lot of work to do. Let me get to Martin Luther talking about the Good Samaritan.
To illustrate what he believed.
Oh, goddamn, this is
religious business with economic man. From what will
have it on my phone, and that is not it. Please, I just want. Is this? I'm not logged. I don't have Facebook. Go fuck yourself, Mark Zuckerberg. Ooh, by the way, I can't find. I'll try to find that. But look, did you guys see this with Facebook? Wait, is that it? No, that's the bear story. Hold on. Everybody, hold on. Oh, look at that. Trump's DHS just bought an ICE detention warehouse for $128 million. That sold for $29 million 2 years ago. Who'd they buy it from? A Russian-based real estate company. Nothing to see here, folks. You know what he's buying it with? He's not using his meme coin money. That's our tax dollars. Overpaying to pay off his Russian friends. Hold on. Where is it? Here's the economy right now. Look, Trump's inauguration. What a fucking joke. What a joke in a great recession. Can we just take a moment to reset, and then I'll show you the AI Meta. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg wants to own your dead relatives and keep posting as them. I'll show you the article in 1 second, but let's just take a woosah, a restart. This is Kurt Cobain with a kitten and Francis Bean. Rest in peace, Kurt. Advocate for all the marginalized, once arrested for spray painting God is Gay, and lead singer of Kurt and the Nirvanas, I believe it was called. I believe it was called Kurt and the Nirvanas. Welcome to the stage, Kurt and the Nirvanas. That's a good reset. And then for everybody who's still here, I just want to remind those in my comments section that when seeking out on a journey, do not seek the advice from those who have never left home. I'm speaking to you, incels. Stop telling me how to do my fucking show and go watch Joe Rogan or Tim Culture War Pool, who gets his funding from Russia. I'm only funded by you, the super chats, the members, and I thank you so much for everybody who has super chatted. And if you want to do the free way, you can just hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. By the way, Pink First, seeing you sneak in, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you much. I'm sorry I didn't get to mention it earlier, but I am very grateful because I am supported wholly by the viewers. I'm the new PBS, bitches, but I said bitches. The Teen Spirit. Please welcome Kurt and the teen. Please welcome to the stage Kurt and the Teen Spirits. Thank you. I believe that was his band. It wasn't Pen Cap Chew. It wasn't Right Said Fred. It was Kurt and the Teen Spirits. This is your job? Yikes. What is your job? Being in the... Yikes. Tim Fool. He is... Emma Rodriguez. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't Francis in here? I'm pretty sure I've seen Francis sneak in. What's up, Francis? What's up, Francis? I don't know if you're still here. I'm sorry. I haven't been reading the comments too much, but I'm pretty sure. Let me go back. None of your business. I love Talarico. I do too. Oh, Sid Life. I've read Trump's obituary to Jesse Jackson. Yeah, rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. An absolute fucking monument for civil rights, and he did a lot. I'm not going to go into him, but I did not read Trump addressing it, but of course it was probably all about me. We're extremely dumb on purpose. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Sir Jan. Watched it. You are really triggered. Yeah, there's PDFs running the country. You're not triggered? That's what I mean. Like, that's alarming to me. If you're like, oh, this guy's triggered, the Epstein files own people in it own every company, including Chuck E. Cheese, your kids' school photos, the presidency. What a triggered lib. And it's like, number one, I'm a radical leftist socialist. Number two, yeah. And if you're not triggered, we know what side you're on, you know? We know who you have to knock on every door in your neighborhood to announce your entry into the neighborhood. Okay, I'm not gonna find Frances, but I'm pretty sure Frances was here. And if she already had to leave, then sorry, I missed you. Everyone should be triggered. Thank you, Emma. Thank you. Thank you. Is that Kurt? Yes. This is Kurt. You know him from Kurt and the Teen Spirits. You know him from Kurt and the Nirvanas. We just needed to do a reset because, you know, the world is a mad, mad place. But sometimes if you just look at a picture of Kurt enjoying life with a kitten and his daughter, all's good. All's good. Good. Oh, David, show me why I should mute you for 24 hours. Thank you. You guys forget, you're in my live stream. I'm not a coward chicken shit like you guys where I don't have an avatar and I don't show my face and I don't do a live stream every day. I am not a coward and I stand up to these bullshit bullies and these tyrants. And I do it every single day here on YouTube. You can catch me, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'm never gonna fucking back down. I'm just not. You can go be obedient bootlickers to the Epstein class all you want. You can, when they take away your 401ks and they stop singing about the Dow. When they stop singing about the Dow being over 50,000, they tell you you're not allowed to retire and your kids have to go work in the coal mines or the lithium mines. You could keep doing that, but you will remember me and go, oh, that guy was pretty brave. He was talking out against this, and I fell right in line. I was obedient for those fucking herbs. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, you're in Massachusetts. What, hiding in your mom's basement? Get the fuck out of here. I love you cowards with no fucking avatar. I love you cowards. All you gotta do is go make a video. Prove you're in Massachusetts, huh, tough guy? Go do it. Put your face on camera, tough guy. I love these motherfuckers. I'm in Massachusetts. Oh, really, Jason with no fucking avatar who has no fucking history on YouTube? Okay, pal. Just go live yourself and tag me. I'll come join your live. No, I never would. I don't pander to perverts. I love these fruitcakes. Keep it coming, nerds. Keep it coming. I'll own all of you. What do the kids say? Hold on. What do the kids say? I'll dunk on all you bitches. They just talk shit under a troll account. I know, Sid. But sometimes you got to show, listen, I know there might be somebody in here that has had to deal with those people, right? So why I take the time, just so you know the method behind the madness, why I take the time to address some of these people is because sometimes you got to show them. Like, hey, chicken shit, talk all you want. Remember, you're in my live stream, okay? And I know you're going to go leave comments and whine and complain in my comments, but all I'm saying is you love America, you love free speech. Go do your own live. Go put your face on video and spout your beliefs. Here, I'll show you some of mine. The radical left and what we believe. We believe everyone should have a good education, right to adequate protection from economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment, the right to adequate medical care, free Luigi, and the opportunity to achieve and enjoy good health. Do you notice how FDR said achieve and enjoy good health? You think most Americans are enjoying good health? Our life expectancy is on the decline. We pay more than any other country. The right to every family to a decent home. A decent home. Right for every businessman, yada, yada, yada. The right to earn enough to provide adequate food, clothing, and recreation. Get the fuck out of town. Recreation too? That's right. So there's my beliefs. Why don't you go on camera and, I don't know, read from the Epstein files and say I defend it all? I don't know what your beliefs are because you don't have any. You just come in here and try to threaten me? Are you fucking kidding with your no-faced avatar? Are you kidding me, you fucking chicken shit cowards? I am so sick of you fucking nerds. You wouldn't like to meet me in fucking person anyways, because you have to change your whole personality. That's what you would do, because you're a bunch of chameleons. You're slimy fucking... Actually, chameleons aren't slimy. I feel bad. I did not want to insult chameleons like that. I shouldn't put them in that class of working class traders. So I do that because I need people to know that that's how you treat these fucking tyrants, you know? And they're not even the real tyrants. The real tyrants are in the Epstein files. These are just the little turd shiners, you know? These are just the hog snarfers for Donald Trump. They come in, probably in Russia. That's why they'll never make a fucking video. To remind you, I've been doing this live for almost 2 years. They come in and I say, go make a video. Play the American police siren in the background. Or an ambulance. They go by all the time. We're a very sick nation. You know, just make a video of yourself with your face in it. None of them have in 2 years. Bullies don't like getting called out. Remember that. Wherever you are in life. I don't give a shit if you're old or young. Maybe you never stood up to one. Maybe you have one in your life right now. Maybe you deal with it online. Stand the fuck up to these people. Let them know we're not fucking, you know, these liberals you think we are. We are the radical left. We are fucking radical because we think everyone should have recreation. Guys, you don't have anything better to do with your life. You're in my live stream. You have nothing going on. You're in my live stream with somebody you despise because I'm criticizing your Madam President. Do you understand how pathetic that is? There's a whole group, there's a whole family, a whole vanguard of subscribers that like to go over this shit because we like to be informed when, hold on, let me find the AI thing. Let me find it. Oh, look at this. This is what they defend in America. Business Insider. I'm 76. I drive for Uber after losing my savings to my wife's cancer pills. I'm not sure how long I can keep driving. This is what you're defending? This? Really? This is the fucking America we need to defend, right? Right? This is the fucking economy we don't want to tumble to the ground because fucking why again? Hold on. It's so funny, these fucking people. And I love it even more when they're like, we don't care, loser. I'm like, then fucking leave. You don't care so much, you can't leave. You got nowhere to go. No friends. Fucking incels. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Hold on. Where is... I gotta find... Where is the meta story? Where is the meta story? I don't know where I put it, man. I don't know where I put it. That can't be it. That can't be it. That's Georgia. What's that? Palantir. That one. No. Did I not take a picture of it? I'm so sorry. I have it pulled up. Here, I'll put this one up. This one's a little risque. Check this one out. I wanted to cross that out because let's just have immigrants. There's no illegal immigrants in America. This is native land. Okay, let's have immigrants hunt down offenders for a chance at citizenship. We'll call it aliens versus predator. I don't know who came up with this meme, but that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. You fucking dummies. Continue on, my brother. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. Hagfish or slimy. Thank you. Hagfish. What a good term. I don't know what a hagfish is, but now I need to know. Now I need to know. See, this is, hey, MAGA, pay attention. This is what you do when you don't know something. You look it up. You stupid dumb shits. Oh, I typed in hogfish. Hagfish. Oh, that's perfect. It looks like a big eel. This probably was suctioned onto, you know. It's the thing that they used to clean Donald Trump's diaper. Let me just explain it like that. The hagfish is what I would imagine. It's like a catheter fish, you know. It's keeping him alive. But I don't know. I don't know, medical procedures because America gatekeeps that stuff. So I'll just say this. Quiet, Piggy. Quiet. Sentient Ghost, thank you. I can watch this guy all night. Appreciate you. I know you hit subscribe. You've been here before. Boston Trash. Yeah, right. Say thank you for fucking having a nation, Boston Trash. Get the fuck out of here. Don't come back. Don't come back, loser. All right? Go read about the Revolutionary War. Wouldn't be for us. You guys wouldn't be fucking grabbing your crosses and saying how much you hate other people. Fucking, we didn't, birth this nation out of our butt, or however things are birthed. I don't know. They gatekeep healthcare from us, so we're not allowed to learn it. Hold on. Oh, no, I'm not even gonna play that Epstein stuff. I'm just not going to. I'm just not doing it. Where is the fucking... Not the Bayer thing. Here it is, Meta. Okay, on Dexerto. I'm just gonna read this for you. This is very dystopian, and this is the world that MAGA wants. MAGA, just so everybody's clear, MAGA elected Donald Trump to excuse himself from the Epstein files, to not investigate anybody, and to let corporate fucking hagfish, it's not hogfish, right? To let these corporate CEO hogfish run train on America. Don't believe me? Let me read this to you. Meta patents AI that takes over a dead person's account to keep posting and chatting. I bet you're so excited for that friend who OD'd, and the only thing you have left is their Meta account and your memories on there, and then your friend starts posting about the newest Mr. Beast video coming out, or Mr. Beast drink, or Mr. Beast collab at Walmart. You excited for that, MAGA? Because this is what you voted for. I love how Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz now are like, I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did, dude. This is exactly what you voted for. What, did you think he wasn't a pervert? You just thought he was the cool pervert, that like he was your friend, and then everybody realized he don't even care about his own kids, except for that one daughter. What did he say about her? Hold on. What did he say about that one daughter he cared about?
Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
This is from like the 2000s, and they voted for this. So don't try to walk away now. Don't try to backtrack now. Don't try to be like, oh, this is what I voted for. You voted for the guy who wanted to bang his daughter, okay? Own it. Own it. Put that on your hat. Trump was right about wanting to bang his daughter, or whatever you guys do. I don't know. You could probably make a hat and you'd buy it. We all bang Ivanka, So this Meta says the filing, granted in late December and originally submitted in 2023, describes how a large language model could replicate a person's online behavior using their past data. This includes posts, comments, chats, voice messages, likes, other interactions, allowing the system to respond to content, publish updates, or message other users in a way that mirrors the original account holder. Again, I just want to remind you, this is Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, at Trump inauguration, right? Also pictured in the Epstein files at dinner with Epstein with Elon. You know what? Let me just get the photo. Let me just get the photo for you so we know who we're talking about, okay? Because MAGA, you voted for this, all right? This is the hierarchy MAGA voted for, okay? MAGA's down here with us, and they voted for this guy because he was going to, what? I don't know, drain the swamp? I'm pretty sure he is the swamp. He's the Florida fucking hagfish. Here, let's get the photo of Mark Zuckerberg so everybody knows who we're discussing. It's very important you see a picture of him and the relevance of the picture. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Oh, there it is. There's Mark Zuckerberg. This was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to himself. He emailed this to himself. There's Musk. And I'm guessing Jeff is taking the picture. He's, right here taking the picture because he's at dinner with these guys. And Jeff Epstein, because he lived next to Donald Trump. They were best friends for many decades. So Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, which I don't have, deleted it. Fucking fuck that dude. Just read about what he's doing in Hawaii to the natives. But if you don't have that kind of conscience, maybe, because we're in America, when your friend ODs and you're heartbroken, and then you get a late night DM from him, you'll go, what the is this? And then you'll realize you have no control because Mark Zuckerberg put in a patent to own dead people's Facebooks. Is this the future you're fucking excited for? I wanted a hoverboard, healthcare, egg. And Mark Zuckerberg's like, you know, with these large language models, we could duplicate dead people's things so we could populate our algorithms and get more valuation. Wall Street's gonna love this one. What do you think, Pam Blondie?
It's Clover 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing.
I'm not. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
As an Ian on my 7th now. The American people need to know this. Need to know
How is the Dow? It's under 50 thou.
The survivors. Because that's
how is the Dow?
So that story's in the description if you'd like to read about how, you know, your deceased mother will soon be DMing you because Mark Zuckerberg owns the patent to that. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I would say, wait, I wanted to find that. The best choice to ruin your country or to increase the debt. Section 8 is awesome. People should be able to afford homes. Who hates poor people? God, why? You're one of them. God. People make me so angry. Where is the thing that I wanted to show? The thing to show. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. The thing I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Some of these make me so angry. So angry. No, not billionaires don't create jobs. I know that. Nope. Nope. I don't know where it is. Whatever. Fuck. I think I'm burnt. The poors are the worst. Yep, that's what MAGA says. From their foreclosed farm in Arkansas. Man, I hate these poor people. Just like they hate Medicare, and most of them are on it. You would welcome Bush back? Oh my God. No. You got to understand, this is a descent into fascism, okay? A descent, that's not even, I guess descent, it's a repelling, it's a splunking into fascism. So at this point, anyone who just, I don't know, wasn't making shitcoin memes and Gary V trading cards, I don't know what Donald Trump's doing. You know, I would just take anyone who's not taking filthy bribes to pardon people. Anyone. I mean, could we get a chameleon? Could we get a hagfish? I would vote for fucking hog at this point. You know what I mean? Anything better than the guy who's like, I'm putting the Epstein army on the streets to go after citizens. Because he's not going after illegal immigrants. He's not. It's just not the truth. It's just not the truth. Where is it? Here. The ultra-conservative Heritage Foundation, Project 2025, guys. They also brought you Obamacare, which was called the ACA, which before that was called Mitt Romney Care. These are the guys that brought you the healthcare you have or you don't have right now. Found that in 24 years of voting, only 117 illegals voted, representing 0.00, you read it. We don't have an election integrity problem. We have a Trump administration integrity problem. And, you know, that's just, I don't know, par for the fucking course. The Dow. Look at these job numbers. I mean, I guess, you know, this only goes back to 2022, but I would take a fucking sandworm. I would take a pelican. I would vote for anything over this turd, over this Epstein class fucking swindler. My God, you understand, most people voted for him because he was a white guy. Let's be very clear on that. This white guy could only beat women. That's the only way. That's why he had to beg and plead for a peace prize. He's the most embarrassing thing. He can't even go to his own you know he's a Democrat, rich kid, Nepo baby, coastal elite from New York, and he had to leave New York because they fucking hate him. He's orange, not white. Stand corrected. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Manny. I'm from Idaho. We are a red state, but best believe that the majority of our farm workers are what people would consider illegal immigrants. I respect the hell out of them. They work hard. Jeremy, I'm going to make an example of you because fake traitors, treasonous people usually say that. You could leave. Do you know what this country's... Do you know what an amendment is? Jeremy, I know you're too stupid for that, so let me just explain it to you. That means they got shit wrong, and they had to amend it. Understood? So the most American thing you can do is dissent, to fight against the bullshit. Let me show you an old quote from a hippie that I really love. This is Abe Lincoln. I'm sure you don't respect him now. You did when Donald Trump was calling himself Abe Lincoln, but now I'm sure you don't. This is a quote from Abe Lincoln. I'm not sure if you could read or not, but I'll just leave it up there in hopes that you can. I don't know. You should have fucking stayed in school longer. But then again, you did cheer on the Department of Education being dismantled, so you fucking numbskulls don't even know that you're uneducated. You just think, this is how I is, and I vote orange guy good. Me no see Epstein file, cause me no read 'em. You know. You fucking idiot. You stupid dolt. You should leave America. Anybody who's complicit in this fascist, authoritarian dictatorship that is just full and reeking of tyranny, you go to Russia. You would love it there. They have one guy calls all the shots. Donald Trump loves him. Keeps funneling money to him. Our taxpayer money. You would love Russia. They are everything that you want, you know? They outlaw minorities, they fucking silence and criminalize their opponents. Everything Trump is doing, where do you think he got it? You know what I mean? You would love it. For the people who like to be in the land of the free, that means we are free to dissent against the government. We are free to express ourselves or marry who we want. We are free to worship in any sort of way you would like to. Thoth, you want to weigh your soul against a feather? I don't give a shit. We're staying here because we're not fucking letting the Epstein class take over this country like they want to. Am I clear? Am I clear? Are you going to change your tone or do I got to mute you? Okay? Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate you. Grateful Dead, we're always hippies. Catch up. That's right. Rest in peace, Jerry. All right. I see some of you can't have an attitude adjustment. You're still going to worship that hagfish. Hogfish. I might just call it a hogfish. You moron. You understand January 6th was the fascists trying to take over. Huh. I see I didn't reach them. Their stupidity shell is too thick. How many licks does it take to get to the center of their stupidity shell, Mr. Owl? 1 billion, because you have to be a billionaire. That's the only people they listen to. Listen, moron, when fascists try to take over, we're Antifa here. My grandfather who fought in World War II was Antifa. You might have a relative who fought in one of the world's wars who was Antifa. Antifa stands for anti-fascist, which all of American is, except for your president and those Proud Boys Epstein Army ICE agents that he hired, and he's paying with our tax money. They labeled themselves FA, which stands for fascist. You know how I know? Because he said Antifa is our enemy. So if Antifa is your enemy, what are you? You're you're fascist. And when fascists try to take over America, because America is what again? The land of the, too stupid, land of the free. You don't want fascism, where the state and corporations collude to fucking oppress you. You know what I mean? With a touch of misogyny here, a hint of racism there, an overt dog whistle here, all the shit that you fall for because you're hateful, small, little peckerhead. You know, that's it. That's it. So we don't allow that shit. You know what I mean? And we should prosecute it to the fullest extent. We should South Korea this shit, but we're not. So people like you are emboldened and think you can fucking chirp up in my comments. Well, no, you can't. We don't listen to pho here, okay? I don't have my grandfather's flag up on the fucking wall because he listened to pho. He went to war with pho. Are we clear, Numrod? Hagfish, hogfish, snarfharger, whatever. The president makes treaties with the advice and consent of the Senate. Yo, Jan is fucking schooling some of you Americans. More spoiled fruit on the vine of the Epstein crew. Yeah. Antifa forever. To my European comrades, much love. Hecklefish is pretty badass too. Ooh, I like hecklefish. I like hogfish. I know it's hagfish, but I like hogfish. I don't know why. Nimrod. I haven't heard Nimrod in a long time. Whole lot of emotional arguments from the sympathizers in here. Yeah, that's what you get, you know? They're always like, well, how about you fight me? And it's like, you know, I'm not trained to fight one person at a time. I'm only trained to fight 40 people at a time. And they're all in the Epstein files, so I can't. I'm sorry. Plus, I'm a lover. Not like an Epstein, you know, not like the people you worship. But I love that that's like their ultimate go-to. They take after Joe Rogan. Did you ever see when that Brian Callen, who has allegations against him too, stepped to Joe Rogan in a discussion and challenged him, and Joe Rogan started getting so mad, he's like, we can't talk about this anymore. They emulate that. You know, they emulate what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump, once he's questioned, he just starts going, quiet, piggy, shut up, you're not nice, failing media. Like, that's their whole thing, and that's why I stand the fuck up to bullies. You could say, oh, if I met you in person, I'd identify you the red hat, just like Redcoats a long time ago. You're a traitor to the fucking nation. You're a fucking slime, hogfish, and you're not worth my time, you know? Don't worry, we'll have tribunals for all you people anyways. I'd love to see Donald Trump try to fight someone. He couldn't. That's what I mean. It's like all these fucking dudes. They don't want to debate ideas. They don't want to talk about the Epstein files. They just want to threaten you, and fucking I'm over it. You know, go make love to your sister. Get the fuck out of my live. You know what? Do you know what?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't know why you're laughing. Dow's over 50,000. This is what these people look up to. Just so we can remind everybody.
I would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Gross. I hear that and I say gross, and they're like, that's my guy, I'm voting for him. You know, that's the difference between you and me. You know that song. Plus, I don't fight people who move like a bitch.
I moved on her like a bitch.
That clip should have ended his political career. How the media, this is how you know the media is complicit, because how the media wasn't like, you moved like a what, sir? A bitch? That should have been every headline. Trump moves like a bitch. And then they could have just played, you know, footage after footage of him either drinking water like this or going upstairs. You know, a bunch of montages of him moving like a bitch. Why do you think he had to ride an escalator? Stand together. It's America. Well, listen, there's going to be a bunch of traitors. Just go look at history, you know, at any movement. People fighting for their rights in this country, whether it was women's suffrage, civil rights. Look at the civil rights. That's well documented. There were adult white people screaming at little black kids because they wanted an equal education. There's always going to be class traitors, you know, because their insides are insufficient. You know, they're lacking self-love. They hate themselves, so they got to hate somebody. Hurt people. We've heard that, okay? And if you go all the way back to the Revolutionary War, there were loyalists. And just look up how the Patriots treated the loyalists, you know? No, I'm serious. Go read about it. It's very interesting. What was the fucking catacombs of loyalty? Look up the Catacombs of Loyalty. One of my favorite hagfish. That's so funny. Catacombs of Loyalty. Ah, yeah. Revolutionary War. I just want you, if you want to understand how the real Americans treated the British loyalists, the redcoats, during the Revolution. At one point, the New England militias took over New York, and there were a bunch of loyalists there, and they took a few dozen of them and put them in what the New Englanders called the Catacombs of Loyalty, which was an empty copper. Was it a copper mine? Yes, it was a copper mine in Simsbury, Connecticut, that the Patriots used to imprison the Loyalists. They didn't even build a jail. They just put the Loyalists in a copper mine and shut the fucking gate. Put a gate on it and shut it. You don't believe me? Go look up your history. So for all these loyalists, these red hats in here that want to brag about J6 or fucking whatever, their blind obedience to some tyrant, know your history, man. That's all I'll say. Know your history. Preach. The red hats. Joe Mommy's house. Listen, I think it's convenient and fitting that we used to have red coats. Now we got red hats, you know? He's getting rid of anyone who opposes him. No, I'm getting rid of the people who keep threatening me and have nothing to add to the conversation. Let's be very clear. MAGA isn't bringing their best when it comes to dialogue or discussion. They're just saying J6, Trump's the best, and then when I point out, you know, all of his flaws, which is all over the news today, I'm not rehashing them, or just the Epstein files. You know, just that me as a man, I stand against people in the Epstein files. It's just this little thing I call integrity. It's just this little thing I call character. It's just this little thing I have where once I read some of those files and there's no investigation to find out, to weed out how much truth there is into this, I go, I'm not taking my chances. There's too many of them. Donald Trump mentioned over 1 million times in unredacted Epstein files. I don't know about you, but I don't those numbers aren't sounding good. Why so many times? You know, how do you live next to a guy like that and just stay there when you have money? You know. Anyways, he's not talking about you. Oh, thanks, Jasmine. I wasn't referring to you. Oh, sorry, not all who wonder are lost. 208. Can't keep up. No, I can't. They're eating the pets. that was not me. I was reading a comment. I'm not talking about you. Stop thinking that I'm talking about you. Whatever your name is, other troll account. Is the Illuminati real? Yes, and they're all in the Epstein files. This is like the This is the funniest thing. It's like people would hush talk about the Illuminati. And here, folks, they're here. And Joe Rogan's like, I don't know, this could be a bad thing, cover up. Oh, keep working on it, Joe. He didn't talk about it on today's podcast. Well, you know what he did? He talked about with Darnell Rawlings, how Jeff Epstein won the lottery, because that's like the juiciest part of the Epstein files, right? You know, you could just read all this shit about the president and the fact that none of this is being investigated. He's being protected. Just want you to imagine if that said Obama. You know what I mean? Like, just take a brief moment to think if that said Obama. Unfortunately, Obama's never cheated on his wife, didn't cheat on all 3 of his wives, including one time with the porn star, which he cheated on with the first lady and then got caught in 34 felonies for. This is hilarious that these people are conservative values. Jesus. It's like, dude, you're worshiping fucking like the villain of the Bible. And not even like a cool villain, like a you know, parable story villain, like some villain who is just there to fucking set an example, you know, like not even like the main one. All right, I want to talk about this real quick. Bayer agrees to $7.25 billion proposed settlement over thousands of Roundup cancer lawsuits. And this is again why, like, if you voted for Donald Trump, you know, I don't know how else to explain it. I really don't have words, but, you know, he supports all these corporations, all of them. He's a CEO. He's their friend. Where is the Bayer thing? Here it is. Okay, so I'll read some of this. Agrochemical maker Bayer and attorneys for cancer patients just announced a proposed $725 billion settlement Tuesday to resolve thousands of U.S. lawsuits alleging the company failed to warn people that its popular weed killer Roundup could cause cancer. You don't fail to warn people. That's negligence. You don't put a product out. No, sorry, here in America you can. But like in my America, in the radical left woke America, you can't put a cancer chemical out and on and to make money. Just that should be law. That should be law. It's not. So here we are. The proposed settlement comes as the U.S. Supreme Court is preparing to hear arguments on Bayer's assertion that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's approval of Roundup without a cancer warning should invalidate claims filed in state courts. That case would not be affected by the proposed settlement, but the settlement would eliminate some of the risk from an eventual and uncertain Supreme Court ruling, both for Bayer and for both patients seeking damages. German-based company Bayer, which acquired Roundup maker Monsanto in 2018, disputes the assertion that the weed killer's key ingredient, glyphosate, can cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But the company has warned that mounting legal costs are threatening its ability to continue selling the product in U.S. agricultural market. They're like, man, all these lawsuits are really affecting us being able to sell it. They don't care that there's people with cancer. They care that they can't keep selling their cancer chemical. They're like, man, all these legal costs are mounting up. They don't care that the product could be killing people. Like, this is a billion-dollar company, right? Like, they could easily find out, but they never will. And Donald Trump protects that. Their right to, as a Citizens United soul-filled entity, corporation. And they're just like, these legal costs are really going to, tank our weed killer Roundup. This is unreal. Unreal. And maybe you're not affected by this, but I just want you to think, if somebody, loved one of yours, was just using Roundup, which I refuse to, and I tell everybody, please don't. But they were just trying to get rid of the weeds, man. And then, a couple years later, cancer, bam. And you can only identify it by the weed killer. Wouldn't you just be fucking livid? Like, I would be so angry. I'd be like, how is a company allowed to do this in this country? And how are they protected by the courts? Oh my God. Oh my God. We need to, it always makes me think of this quote. When institutions fail, you don't reform them, you replace them. Great quote. Great quote. Just use table salt. 16 tones. What's up? Good to see you. Capitalism doesn't rectify human life. That's why regulations are needed. Thank you, Smoking Blondie. Thank you. I always say to people, here's the tough part. We're going to start at a baseline. The baseline is Americans have been programmed and propagandized to think Coca-Cola has these beautiful teddy polar bears that just want to drink Coke with me. And Santa brings a Coke every Christmas. So they've been propagandized. Americans have been so propagandized, they wait all year to watch commercials at the fucking big game. That is pathetic, right? Like, you're waiting to be advertised to. Absolutely cuck behavior. Is that what the kids say? I don't know what the kids say. I would think the kids say something like that. Anyways, we've been so propagandized that people have lost track that the only reason corporations, businesses exist is to make a profit with any means possible. We got glyphosate in Roundup. Let's not test it. Just put it in the market. It kills the weeds. Maybe it kills the humans too. We don't know. Hey, I know we got the money to test it, but just sell it. This is going to make us a lot of money. I try to teach people all the time that corporations, businesses only exist. They don't exist to provide a service anymore. We're a financial market. They're not bringing sweatshops back. I know Donald Trump promised to bring sweatshops back. I already talked about the news story that Donald Trump's biggest donor, who has one of the biggest plants in Ohio, closed it down and is sending those jobs to China. There's your manufacturing going to China. These corporations do not exist to make a profit. This is why it's so important to be a socialist that believe the workers have the power, the people that create the wealth, the people that fucking are in your communities should have a decent living, a decent living. It shouldn't just be a few people who have hospital wings in their McMansions. But these businesses only exist to make a profit. And you could go on to their earnings calls and talk about their Wall Street valuations, all that shit that's made up and just fluctuated by stock buybacks and illegal things that were made legal by different regimes who were probably heavily paid off by these people. But they only exist to take your money. You can see it, I think, a little more obvious now. Back when I was growing up, you could buy media and think like, oh, wow, I got a quality product that I kind of overpaid for and own a DVD. Now, if you go to Amazon, Jeff Bezos' movie streaming service, and try to buy a movie, do you know what comes up? Read the fine print. It will say you are purchasing the license. So if Amazon loses the license, you still bought the movie, you just don't own it. And I'm not kidding. I talked about this over a year ago when there was a court case over it. And Amazon literally said, oh, people are just stupid. They didn't understand their definition of owning didn't mean own the media. It meant own the license. And you can look all this up. And I'm trying to teach you this because for those people who are bootlickers and still think corporations, you know, have cuddly mascots that just really want to provide me the best service, they don't. That's what this story is. This story is proving it. That they will sell you poison. Just look up, what's that? Baby powder. Johnson's & Johnson's baby powder. And the talc or whatever is in it. And how many people were affected by that, if you don't believe me. This isn't new, but what I'm saying is when you stomp for a hogfish like Donald Trump, who brags about deregulation, what do you think they're deregulating? What do you think the regulations kept in place? So they couldn't poison your water like we talked about battery plant where they were just putting a pipe across many different people's properties into a stream and just emptying black liquid from a lithium plant at Tesla in Texas into the water system, into the natural water system. That's deregulation. Just in case you were an idiot. And no, deregulate means they don't got to test shit, and you're the test. Deregulate means, oh, we could just pollute everything and then move somewhere else. We could just put an AI center right next to you and extract all of your water and all of your electricity and charge you for it. That's deregulation, folks. I know they should teach this at school, but thank God I'm here. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you, Smoking Blondie. Appreciate that. This is why I quit paying federal taxes. This is correct. And if you don't know that, you need to get in the loop. It goes way beyond new age movies and games and baby powder. It does. Thank you, Little Fitter Fitness. I imagine you as a little fitter doing fitness, and it's adorable. But it is absolutely horrific what is going on. And all you need to do, like George Carlin said, is even read the news poorly. And you can kind of get a clue. Or just pay attention in your life. Dow Chemical and Monsanto produced Agent Orange. Yeah, and if you don't know about Agent Orange, but what did you, hold on. Thorn, did you say Dow?
Are you even? Dow right now. It's over 50.
Jess, what's up?
That's what we should be talking about.
Rob, when's the band getting back together? Which band were you in with me? Let's get a band together. Orion, it's me. Hey, Orion, are you paying attention? Smoking Blondie's right there. I love when people have side conversations in my lives. I'm sorry. But I really appreciate that. When people connect in my lives, it's one of those things where I'm like, community. I love it. So Orion, Smoking Blondie's here. I didn't see Orion sneak in, but we'll get his attention. Hold on. So, Jess, deregulation is just the ability to cancel clean water, clean air, and clean earth. Thank you. White Dove Sam, what band do you want to get together? Our band? Which one? I've been in quite a few bands. There's Orion O'Brien. We got you guys connected. I'm proud of myself. I could help. Unity is community, folks, and that's what we're about here. The down right now, Manny, don't I can't help it.
Right now, it's Clover 59. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this.
Need to know
how is the Dow.
Let me address the
Jasmine, not right now.
How is the Dow?
How many? Manny, that was your fault. I'm blaming Manny on that one because once you start doing that, I can't stop. This is the hit of the summer. Oh my God. I'm doing vocals, happy with background. Oh, you do vocals? All right. Can I play drums? If I could play drums, we'd just be drum and vocal. I don't think that's ever happened before. We should just try. White Dove Simp, let's start a band where it's just drums and vocals. That'd be fucking amazing. We're like, oh yeah, Jack White, you think guitar and drums is awesome? Just wait till you hear us. We're drums, vocals, and background vocals. Suck it, Jack. It's your fault. It is not my fault. Okay, it might be my fault. I'm very sorry. We can all blame my brother. He sent that to me. Thank you, bro. I love you. Blood Astro, all it would take is no one go to work. That's like a big Bill Haywood union organizer, labor movement leader. He said all the working class has to do to grind this economy to a stop is put their hands in their pockets. We need unity. Listen, I'm telling you this because I'm building a vanguard here. We are Antifa forever. We are standing against tyrants and bullies in the Epstein class, and we can redo this country to make it work for the people. You know what I mean? Not just the small class of Epstein people who have all the money. What do you need? Guys, hey, all rich people, go buy a jet ski and just fucking have some fun for a little bit. You guys are all pathetic losers that just want to sap the life out of anybody who enjoys art or music.
The Dow right now. It's Clover 59. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Jasmine. No, Jasmine, no.
How is the Dow?
I can't. Your kid is calling you. I know. I don't know where she went. She might just jump up from behind me, so she's going to. Oh my God, hold on. No. See, what they do is they sneak up behind you and then jump on your back. And if I get them first, yeah. My dad used Roundup, died of cancer. Are you serious? I'm so sorry to hear that, Richard. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. What's up, Odin? Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you're new here, please hit subscribe. It's a good way free way to support the channel. Hit the notification bell. I'm here every single week. Every weekday, trying to tell people to wake up, trying to show you some of the stuff happening in the world, and always, always trying to push for accountability for the Epstein class. James, besides you just being a troll account, you know nothing about Boston. Nothing. Okay? Let me explain something. Without us, you wouldn't have fucking had a revolution. You understand me? Go look up Sam Adams, organizer, Green Dragon Pub. Okay? I'm so tired of these people, man. You guys are fucking sucking up all our oxygen. There's good people in this chat who need that oxygen that you're fucking using. Unless you're AI, then we should destroy your data center. Come here. The dog's not leave. Dog, let her be. I know. I'll go feed you. Okay, he can't read. So it's one of my favorite comments about MAGA that's very true. They can't read. There's no helping them. Anyways, I'm sorry I was interrupted, Richard. I'm very sorry to hear that. And this is one of the things, just so you know, who Richard said his dad used Roundup and died of cancer. And if you don't know, there's so many lawsuits that it's $7 billion that they're going to pay out. Okay, I'll be right there. Just let me finish. And if that story is true, which I don't know why you'd make, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to believe Richard. And not only am I sorry, but I think there's a better way. You know what I mean? That's what this whole American experience was. I remind you of the great hippie Abraham Lincoln, who said, "This country with its institutions belongs to the people who inhabit it. Whenever they shall grow weary of the existing government, they can exercise their constitutional right of amending or their revolutionary right to dismember or overthrow it." Know your history, folks. Know your history. That clean coal oxygen. Oh, don't you? This is another. Thank you, Sir John. This is another one of those instances where watch their language when they call it clean coal. For who? Not the miners, not the people living next to the burning plant. It's. I know it's tricky, guys. Clean coal. It's one of those tricky things, but watch. Shannon, we can talk about that because I do believe that, and I've seen that, and I've seen Epstein's brother say that. What's up, work, Neil? There's no such thing as clean coal, but that's what Donald Trump's calling it. That's what his regime is calling. That's what this tyrannical government is labeling it: clean coal. Real Nye the Science Guy, funded by Dow Jones in the 40s-ish, worked for Lockheed, investing in the FMJ round. Can we see the kitty? Hold on. What is it? Come here, Mama. Come here. Come here. I know. She wants to go eat, so you can see her real quick. Yeah, you got angry face? You're purring really hard. Yes. And she don't like the dog right there. Leave. Hey! Get over here. Thank you. Good girl. Sit. Thank you. Good girl. All right, guys. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Join me tomorrow. I appreciate everybody who super chatted, the members. I saw Caleb in here. Good to see some of you people. Sorry if I didn't get to shout everybody out, and everybody who has been in here. And for the new members, for the new subs, thank you. I need all the support. You see the haters in the comments, all these bots, all these trolls, all these non-avatar freaks and nerds. Not even nerds. Herbs. A bunch of hagfish. That's what they are. And you'll see them if you peruse my channel. You'll see them in the comments. I shut them up because we don't take any guff from FA. And I shut them up and they go complain in the comments. And all I have to say to the haters is go make your own live stream. Debate all my points on your channel. They don't want to show their face, chicken shits. But with that being said, it's important that if you can, support the channel by just hitting subscribe. That's all I ask. You hit subscribe, I promise to entertain you in any way I can. It doesn't matter if we have to.
It's over 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about.
And listen, before we go, this is BUNKBED COFFIN. He has a song for everything. He's such a good local artist, a real hogfish. Thank you, White Dove Sam. We got to start that band up, man. And it's got to be punk, hardcore punk, political messaging, like MAGA didn't understand about Rage Against the Machine for 30 years. But this is BUNKBED COFFIN, both like you sleep in. Local artist here on YouTube. Link in the description. Pink Fur, I knew you were here. What's up, Pink Fur? So we'll play a little Cut the Strings by BUNKBED. Make sure you come back tomorrow, okay? What was it? There was something I didn't play today. Smoking Blondie. Go find Orion. Is he still here? Beings of frequency. Thank you. Beings of frequency. Stay safe, y'all. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Never. My existence is resistance. Orion's here. I fucking love it. I love it. Orion, Smoking Blondie. I gotta say, I'm honored you guys connected in my life. I'm honored. Or reconnected. Very honored. I feel so special. It's the little things in life sometimes, guys. Good to see you guys. Go subscribe to Bunkbed if you like the new grunge. This is what we forgot to talk about. He's in the files. He could do some PR. Oh, sorry. Cut the strings. I see the Christ is king. I'll say this. Christ loves. How about that? It doesn't matter who you are. Unless you're a fascist or a money changer. He didn't like those people in the temple. He chased those capitalists right the fuck out of there. I'll just say love. That's it. And don't take no shit from bullies. Peace. Ooh, Article 2, Section 4. I know what you're referencing. I got a meme for that. High crimes and misdemeanors. Oh, yeah, Jen Kurt. Nice vibes. All right, guys. Peace and love.